Look who it is. She and the heart patient, Travis, have broken up. He's moved on. He's already with a new woman. She wants...
All for one's a fucking joke. Don't even start on me with that bullshit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She wants $86.40 for a hotel room. She claims a dude and his lady friend are allowing her to use their Wi-Fi in their hotel room. The man is playing the game. The woman is not heard at all, which is interesting. Or is this a new dude for you? You just don't want to say it. Her hair is filthy. Her pupils are pinpoint.
Where'd you go, Michael?
Michael offered money. She looks awful. She's saying Travis was mentally and emotionally abusive. Which... her friend's having a grand old time back there playing his video game. Slot machines. I think it's driving her crazy.
All for one's a fucking joke.
Now that's
Everybody on here knows it.
second time I've heard that.
Ain't nobody fucking new to that bullshit.
But he has resources. Why don't you just go home to your daughter and your grandchild? You know, the house with the pink living room. You shouldn't have blocked me. You shouldn't have blocked me. Karma. I've heard.
Yeah, just like somebody just said they were gonna offer me $200 for help, and when I said that would be wonderful.
Michael?
Where the fuck they go?
It's
not a game, people. It's not a fucking game. It's not funny.
You can go home to your daughter. Unless that was Travis's house. You haven't been with him that long. You just go from relative to relative, person to person who's sick, and leech off him. You know, but this is the second one I've heard that is mad at all for one. Wait to hear this one. Also from our friend Spritecan. Now, I don't quite follow Brandi Tanis. I know I should because she is a medical liar. She claims to have end-stage, terminal, stage 4 melanoma to brain and lung. But she vapes. And she talks a lot with a single breath. Not many lung cancer patients can do that. She also claims to have foggy memory from brain tumors, cancerous tumors, Mets to brain that they've removed. She claims she has like a month to go. She's been doing this for a while, like a couple years, I hear. I gotta look into this. So she and her 15-year-old son are in a minivan. And the husband left her. Her oldest daughter left her. Couldn't handle her diagnosis. And she claims that all for one... I don't know if any of you have heard this. This is the first I heard of it until I heard Windwalker mention it. This woman is saying that All for One has minions who he has sent who have physically assaulted this woman, requiring an LSU to take her to the ER. That police are involved. They leave hundreds of voicemails where he is claiming he is going to SA her and assault her, ixnay her in front of her child. All because she told him he needed to wash his hair. That's her claim. okay? And she says it repeatedly. So I want you to hear her story.
I did a good job. I did all the things that I was told I was supposed to do. And when the cancer hit my brain and I started not being able to remember stuff, and like, I understand why I had to be let go from where I worked, because they didn't have a choice. You know, they have an obligation to their clients to make sure that when someone's representing them, they're doing it, you know. So I didn't have a choice. They didn't have a choice in letting me go. It just sucks when you've done everything you were told you were supposed to do to have a good life, and cancer comes and takes everything away from you. Like,
okay, so that's her story.
It just sucks. And then dealing with the hate and stuff on this app, because I literally...
Here we go.
Sometimes just come on here to rant. Sometimes I do come on and ask for help because I don't know what else to do. Because it's just me, my son, and our cat. Like...
Oh, yeah, there's a cat.
You know. And the hate that comes through on this app is just so devastating. To see adults acting the way they act. Hi, Southerner. I swear I can speak today. How are you doing today? Oh, Alexis, I try not to, but they literally, so far, since this has all started with the hatefulness, they call my phone hundreds of times a day, and my spam thing picks most of it up, but like they leave voicemail, so like once every couple hours I gotta empty my voicemail, because I can't change my phone number. This is the number for all the programs and all the apartments that I'm on waiting lists for. So once every couple hours I gotta empty out my voicemail. Yesterday morning I had to sit with a police officer and play the voice messages for him so that he'd write down what was said in the voice messages. And it's, when I tell you, and the messages that I get on TikTok about unaliving me and essaying me in front of my son, like, it is way disproportionate to the fact that I come on here and ask for help. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. I've never done anything to these people to be treated in that kind of way. And then a while, not that long ago, after all this started, I was in the parking lot. My son had rode away on his bike, and a guy came up and he had asked me what time it was. My phone was sitting on the seat of my car, so I turned sideways because I am very cautious. I don't turn my back to anybody. And I went to reach my phone, and he slammed my head into the car. And then he says to me, Luna says hi, and he slammed my head into the car again. And I am lucky and fortunate enough that God was on my side that day, and the manager happened to be watching the cameras. And the manager came running, and while he was running, he called 911. And the cops and the manager came really quickly. I don't want to think what would have happened if he wasn't watching the cameras at that exact couple of minutes, and if my son had been there. Because sometimes we can't afford a room and we have to sleep in that parking lot in the car, because in PA, if you like go to Walmart and you park and you go to try to sleep in the car, security comes out and tells you to move along. And then they tell you that if you don't move along, they call the police and have you trespassed from the parking lot.
Okay, so apparently Luna is All for One's minion, as is the man who physically assaulted her. So I'm going to look into this. I'm going to look into her. I know I talked to her a while ago, and she claimed to have cancer sores that open up all over her body, and that her hair is falling out. She's looking for apartments, yet then she'll say she has a month to live, and her son is going to be going to live with her oldest daughter. I'm confused, so I need to dive a little deeper into this one. I've watched her a few times, but she says that she put up proof because All for One wanted to see proof. Now, hold on, let's go look at this. Well, damn, she blocked me. Oh, well, I'm heartbroken, but I can find her other places. Yeah, so I'm gonna look into this. But has anyone else heard about this All for One scandal? Does he have minions? I know some of the awareness channels have skellies in their closet, but a lot of people do. Maybe they don't talk about them. If you're running an awareness channel, I think it probably would be smart to, if you've done scandalous things in your past. If you're going to be calling out other people, it's just my personal thing that you probably should expose yourself. Just be upfront. There's a lot more respect to be gained from someone who says, like, look, I did this in my past. Oh, I did this in my recent past. Whatever. Don't be like the cows. That's the whole problem with girl world. The people who tend to react to the lol cows end up becoming the lol cows. Look at Shani. Shani's like a full planetary cycle from lol cow to reactor to lol cow to react, to porn star. Blah! Okay, let's not go there. But seriously, I have a lot more respect, and I think a lot of people do, if you're just upfront and say, hey, I robbed my friend. Okay, I stole money from my mom when I was 14. Actually, I did it when I was 12. I used to take like $5, because $5 back then was a lot of money. And she'd go, where'd that $5? I don't know. I was a rebellious young tween. I went through rebellion really young, and I kind of liked that because I got it all out of my system before I turned 18, and it could be on my record. Okay. I think a lot of people, though, rebelled later because they had kids. They had kids young. And they got married and they went to school and they had a career. And then they hit midlife and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to divorce my partner. The kids are grown. I'm going to go get a sports car and start screwing everybody. Because they never had that rebellious period in their childhood, teenage years. And in a way, I kind of see younger rebellion as being a good thing and kind of a normal thing, because you're gaining independence from your parents. You're finding out who you are identity wise. Like when you take childhood development, they show you how that junior high period is just so awful because you're learning to be independent, but you're not independent. It's that weird period. And then we go through it when we get older. I had to do it with my mom, and it was so hard because she had all her marbles. She could probably still work, but her body was failing and she went blind. And she couldn't drive. And when you take someone's car away, that's their independence. It is probably one of the biggest blows to an elder's psyche when they lose that independence. And so we gain it in the tweens and the teens, and then we lose it. And both those phases are just heartbreaking. We get through that first phase. We don't always make it through that second phase. Some elders can't handle it and choose to leave. So, I have nothing against awareness channels. I just am a person who sits and watches these things and puts two and two together, and also relates it to my experience working in fire for 20 years and in the emergency room and ICU for 13. I give my opinion, and that's it. No biggie. I'm not an awareness channel. I'm not really technically a reaction channel, but maybe I am. But, having been in girl world for years, I am not. I am no chicken pickle. That girl's got a gift with words that I do not own. I just have cute dogs. But seriously, the awareness people do their thing, and God bless them. They do go IRL. I don't. I don't believe in doing it. But you know what? Like I say, everybody has their place, free country. And if that's what you choose to do, go for it. Be respectful, have boundaries. Don't fuck with innocent people's. Don't hurt innocent people. No collateral damage, I kind of don't see how awareness needs to go IRL, but I think some people want to become like investigative journalists, stuff like that. That's fine. As somebody who acquired a legal investigator certificate from Oregon State University in 2014, I don't want to risk my license. So I just wouldn't do it. But if you have something in your past, just come out and say it. Otherwise, people are going to sit and pull things out one feather at a time. It's going to be drawn out. If you beat them to the punch, it's over. It's done with. Don't hide it, So, like I said, I got these from Spritecan, which is Peaceful Protest 434. He does a wonderful service. Go subscribe to him. He covers all the beggars, all of our beggars, and some you haven't seen, but some of our usuals. He's really good at covering Nick, which is wonderful because, I have a hard time watching him on TikTok, honestly. And let us end on a cleansing note.
During these lives, I sit with the door open and I sit in front of it, but
hello, Maeve.
I've been used to me sitting in front of it for a long time.
Hello,
so
Maeve.
That's probably contributed to.
We're looking at Summer's babies. Look at.
Are a pretty docile species.
They are adorable. This is our palate cleanser. We'll do a stroll later. Okay, toodles.